Alright, we're going to try recording audio while I watch the sped up version of the trading for the day in price action. So I had already entered in short, and that was into the breaker as it was doing so. I tried to catch it as it was doing so. Then took it down. No, not yet. So in my head thinking it's going to run. I could have kept the stop where it was originally. This is where I decide, okay, well, I'm about to leave here shortly. I want you to be able to see that that's a sell area. I closed out the trade, but I didn't have to. It's about where I took off for the day, so I'm interested to see what it did at the remainder of it and study, because I know from just viewing it from my cell phone, it was definitely still a range bound day with potential run later. That's the kitty little. She thinks she should be in every conversation if you hear her. Her price is going back into what is the what was the bullish order block used to go off of now. We trading it back into as a breaker, as you see. And then that's definitely nice movement. So you can see how price doesn't even go back into the penetrate there. And it would have definitely taken first partial at 1500. Wow. Stop should have remained where it was and just cruised down. And the retracement back to take out the engineered the low just slightly. We're after 1500, so technically it could just use that right there. It's still fighting against that. Wow, that's a very sensitive area right down below there. That was it, the 5190 area, and that's what it used. It measured it till about just before 10 after, so it was 8 after we had that move. 8 after in the final hour, first 8 minutes, and look at that. In the 10 minutes, it literally used the 50-minute to pull it down and reverse it. Let's see what happens the rest. If it releases it lower, I don't think it went any lower for the day. We're attacking back to anybody who is short for the PM session. So we're running to close basically. That tells you that initial long was really good for the day. It took you all day to get back to, well, not this long. We're looking at the lunch. Ran the stops there. Area 1330 right there. Yeah, 1500. Engineered it so at 5 o'clock or 3 o'clock, 1500. It pulled it right at 10, and now that's where it was going. Back to that, technically, that was a daily level, the daily high, previous daily high. Just running around there, going to reach back up. How far into that imbalance? That's what those two lines are. There is the imbalance. 5 hour, I believe. That's a nice run just in itself. Like just that alone, just from internal liquidity to external liquidity. That's it. That's good. Just back and forth, internal to external. Where we at? We just hit the 30-minute mark. So used it back at the 20-minute mark to 20 some odd minute mark to then run back. Here we go. So we ran stops. Now we're running. How far down does this stretch? Are we just digging back into this internal so we could then run higher? I believe it does. I believe it basically takes the day like this. You could extend that higher time frame. Was it a water block that I used right there? The breaker, basically. She came back through and then reused it as a breaker again. To mean threshold, you went through it, right? Through it. And then you went through it again. Now we're using the lower body, outside wall, back again. Just using the thing, staying around these ranges. 1545, so now I can start getting ready for the 1550. I just want to start consolidating. This is a stretch. There's a small inefficiency sitting right there at that previous bearish order block. Now, are we using that as that order block? Because we didn't go through the high of it. Yep. Alright, let's see if we dig it back. I'm gonna try to take a breaker because we didn't even close. Did we close? Barely closed into it. So see that using that as an order block. Just because you've already had that now run back significant to get a significant, like you have to get a significant run up for it to be a breaker. There you go, right through it. Clear those again. Yeah, and then it stops. 56. Had a chance to watch ICT trade or talk a little bit today about the markets, which was good. So coming home off of this was really to listen to him. Here we go. Look, we dug deeper into it. Now you're just pulling back because why? You're at 1600. Literally at the last minutes of it. Let's see how far it reaches to take down, dig into that inefficiency. Now at the bottom where it was internal liquidity, we're basically still going back internally, but this stuff is interesting. I just ticks and really marks time. There you go. Stop. That's the end of the day. 1605, 1655. So the rest of this just nothing. Yeah, the video stopped there. I thought it was a 2-minute video. Oh, we'll stop audio.